How did you come across Beyond Alpha, and what made you decide to give it a try for your husband?
So we have been through a really, really stressful 2 years. We've had some stuff going on that's been really horrible to deal with. And his health really declined. And that was very difficult to watch him spiraling like that. And that's despite him exercising several times a week, eating organic food and, being hydrated. Like I said, I really care about health. And so he takes supplements. I have specific supplements for him, and it just wasn't working anymore. And I couldn't work out what was going on. And as a health student, I was confused that the things I was doing weren't working. And so I was on the internet looking for something that was going to make a difference, anything that was going to make a difference. I was really desperate, to be honest. I'd spoken to naturopaths and I just didn't know what else I could do. And then I saw this Beyond Alpha, the testosterone, and I thought, wow, okay, what's this? And then I started reading about it, and it literally sounded too good to be true. The ingredients, like all the herbs and the natural things and the way that they boost naturally what our body should be doing anyway. So I loved all that. I'm not about pharmaceutical stuff, natural all the way. So I was excited and I thought, yep, I looked at lots of things, but this seemed to have the best ingredients and most potency. And I thought, okay, we're going to give it a go. And I read it to my husband, what it was all about. And he was like, yep, let's try it. We ordered 4 jars because, like I said, I really feel like you need 3 months to give something a good test. We ordered the 4 jars. He started taking it. He was excited to take it too, which I was excited about. We both had lots of hope. And within 2 days, literally 2 days, we both noticed a difference. I think maybe he felt like, oh, I can feel some energy or something. And he felt really hopeful, and that made me feel really hopeful. And within a week, guaranteed, like, he was smiling again and he was feeling less anxious. By the end of the first bottle, it was like I had my husband back again. I'm going to get emotional now because
it's amazing.
That was so relieving to see him coming back, his spark coming back, his cheekiness, just being calm and being able to handle things that came up in his day. He was sleeping better. Everything was so much better. It was literally like I'd found a magic tablet that brought him back. So I was so grateful. So he's now been on it for nearly 4 months. He asks every morning, are my special tablets in his little container of stuff that he has. And yeah, it's amazing. So I'm so grateful.
That's fantastic. So how did that come across in your day-to-day and in your communication and in your relationship?
So he has patience again. He has like spark, like he wants to do things. He gets excited about stuff. He can concentrate on conversations. He can remember things. He's proactive again. He just got so low and depressed and, couldn't be bothered with anything. And his energy was so far down. And, I can see that the color's back in his face and, and he's standing taller and it makes life a whole heap easier in our family. And now he's back and shiny and amazing. So it's really good.
That's fantastic. You said that within 2 days you felt he was back. Can you describe that moment where something happened and you went, wow, this is it. This is working?
He's always been a morning person, but, he was groggy and sleepy when he woke up in the mornings and not wanting to get out of bed, which is just, we've been together 22 years. That's not him. He's usually up and whistling and annoying me because I'm not a morning person. So yeah, those few days and he was back to not quite whistling, but he was happy and he was awake and his body clock was working again. And he felt excited. I could tell that he had noticed and that he was excited that he could feel something changing for him, something lifting.
Amazing. So what would you tell men that are skeptical about Beyond Alpha or women that are skeptical about getting Beyond Alpha for their husband? What would you tell them?
I think, there's so much out there on the internet and whatever that you think sounds too good to be true or is this really going to work? But I think that if it can work for us when we were already doing so many of the right things that should have been working for my husband and, just this was like the missing piece to the puzzle, and I think you just have to give it a go. And I hope, like us, that you have a quick noticing that it's working, but definitely get the 4 jars, because you're going to want them and you regret it if you don't. And you've got to give the body time to heal itself, because it does if you put the right stuff in. And I just feel like this is the perfect combination of the right things. Testosterone in men and females is so important for all our daily functions, for our hormone balance. And with all the things we were doing right, we just couldn't make that happen. And this did. It literally did. So try it.